welcome back. Lovely to have you here. It's Angela again. Want to wish you all a very warm welcome, especially if you're new or this is the first time you're watching my channel. Lovely to have you all with me today. Now, if you'd watched my little craft tour that I did a few videos back, you will have seen that I sort of touched on my desk here, and you would have seen a little project that I was working on. So this is what you would have seen, and this is the cover to a project that I'm almost finished completing, and I hope to share that with you well, in the next video or two. So that's what I have been working on, and this is just the cover, as you can see, and it's just a beautiful color. I used paper from a new kit that I got from my Porch prints, and it's called French Rabbits, and I absolutely adore this kit. And I've got a project that I've got in mind using that kit, and what I did was I've made a cover using one of the papers from that kit, along with just a little metal plaque that I've put on here and a word that I've stamped using my little pegs that clip together. Well, you can find those pegs on my Amazon affiliate link if you're wanting to know where any of that stuff comes from, including these metal things. All right, so that's where they are. So what it is, it sort of has a little flap on the front like that. I haven't done anything else to this journal page, and I'm not journal cover. I'm not sure I will, because I really like the way it looks. As you can see, it's got a cover in there. That's the back, and I just love it. It's a really vintagey looking French piece of paper, and I just love it. All right, so I used it to make a cover. Now if I open this up, you will see that in fact I have recycled something. I haven't covered the inside yet. I wanted to sort of talk you through how I've got to this point and what would happen from here. So I thought I would share it with you, because this is just corrugated cardboard, and in fact an old Amazon piece of wrapping or packaging that I received. You don't need to have the Amazon packaging to do this. You could use in fact any corrugated board or any cardboard that you have, and cut out a similar shape. So I'll try and give you as many of those measurements as I possibly can. All right, so that's going to go like that, and then I'd probably put some kind of closure on here in the form of a ribbon or something like that. We'll get to that later. All right, so let's have a look at how we can transform something that looks like this into something that is going to look really pretty when I've finished the complete project. And I will share the complete project with you pretty soon, probably in the next video. All right, so let's put that aside and have a look at what I've used. So many of you, I know not everybody in the world gets this, but I think a large proportion of people do have these Amazon boxes. This one, it doesn't matter which size it is, they do various sizes. This is a C1. It doesn't matter if you don't. If you've got any kind of carton or any kind of board like this kind of thing, which is just corrugated board, you can see if you look that way, it's going to do the same job. So let's just have a look at some of the things that we're going to do. I am going to trim this down and show you how I went about making this. All right, so this is a great cover to use for any project, any journal project that you want to make, and you can make your version of it as well. All right, so let's get started. I'll get my ruler out. Now, first things first, because I use A4 paper, I found that if you take a sheet of A4 paper, and let me grab one here. This is one of the very pretty prints from the French Rabbits. Really pretty. I'll just show you some others while I'm at it. Obviously there's these, which I'm going to use for the cover now. So I've printed 3 of the pages that I'm going to use for the cover. Obviously use what you have, but you'll need 3 for what I'm going to do. Right, so we've got those 3 there, if I can grip them. Just put those to the side. And then this is another page I would use for, I'm going to use for the inside. This is just one I had extra. Beautiful images there in that kit as well. Both of these are from that French Rabbits kit. Okay. Then if you just want to have a look at some of the other prints from that kit, oh my gosh, isn't that the cutest bunny ever? I love that. It looks like my dog. She's got those kind of colors and really fluffy. I just love it. And then this is some of the journal pages. Isn't some more cute ones, and the colors are just beautiful as well. I haven't printed everything. I'm just giving a little sneak peek here. These are some of the tags as well. Look how cute that is. Just the most adorable images. And I think you also get these plain pages with little bunnies. Look at them there. How cute are they? And I think there's also one with not that one. Yeah, there's also some with lined bunny pages and blues and creams as well, the beautiful French blues. So really pretty. Okay, right, so I'm going to just take this, and if I just go and fold this in half, this is just my A4 size page, and obviously you would use whatever you have. If you put that in there, you'll see that it was just a bit wide, too wide for my liking. And I wanted to trim it down. All right, so we are going to do that as well. So I'll just put that up at the side for the moment. So let's get going with this. I want to just grab my little knife. You don't need the knife necessarily. You want to take this little strip off. You don't want this on here. So pull that off. Okay, if you're using one of these. If not, you won't need to do that. Then what I did was I am going to trim this down. So I am going to pull these two flaps off. I do something else here, completely different. So let's just, this one I don't really need to pull off. I'm going to trim that side, but this side I do need to carefully remove this. So let's just do that ever so carefully. You've got 2 goes at doing this. There, that will work, that's fine. And this just folds over, so just need to cut that off there. Right. Alright, now you can take this side off. We'll pull it off. I'm not worried because I'm going to cut that piece off anyway. And then what you want to do is you want to now work out how your page is going to fit in here. Alright, so for example, I want it a bit shallower, so let's just grab a pen or something. I think I wanted it at about this sort of level. Okay, so I'm just using my page to gauge that. It will depend on what your page width is. Obviously people have letter sizes in the US or A4, wherever you are in the world, or whatever. If you wanted to make a smaller journal, the same would apply. So the first thing we want to do is we want to make sure that we cut that straight across there at the bottom. We are looking at 9 1/4 inches, or in centimeters that would be 23.5 centimeters. All right, so go and measure your marks just across a couple of places, just so that you can level that up. And we want to trim this off here, so I'm just going to do that quickly. Okie dokie, so that should be now the right width for my journal paper, and obviously you can make really small ones of this if you want. So that's the first thing you want to do. Now with me, I'm having this flap go over like that, so just give you some extra measurements if you are actually going to be doing this from some other kind of board. So this is just for people in the probably in the US, and I don't want you to feel like you can't do this, so I'm just giving you a little bit of a few measurements here. So okay, so we're back here again. I just want to give you a couple of measurements. So let's start on the left hand side here. The first measurement that I've got is 3 inches. So you're measuring 3 inches from the edge to the fold. Then you're going to make another score line and just score 2 lines and an inch in between the two. So 3 inch, then 1 inch, then 6.25 inches, then another 1 inch, and then 6.25 inches. All right, if I give that to you in centimeters, that is 7.5 centimeters here on where my thumb is on the left, followed by 2.5 centimeters, by 15.5 centimeters, there or thereabouts, another inch, another 2.5 centimeters, and 15.5 centimeters. Now the golden rule is that this piece and this piece need to be the same size, and the fold up sort of boxed bit, however wide you want to make this, you can make it wider or narrower, whatever you do here. So for example, 1 inch needs to be here on that side as well. This bit can be whatever you sort of decide how much fold over you want. Okay, and of course the length of your paper, which in my case is going to be 9, did I say 9 1/4, somewhere around there. Okay, so that's what how I got to this. So you can take any carton, you know, especially those moving cartons or cartons that you get in the supermarkets, or any carton you've received, and cut out a piece like this. Now what I'm going to do very quickly, I just want to go over my score lines. So I'm going to start here and just take my bone folder, and not too heavily, but I'm going to just make sure that those are pretty clear. This particular one on this fold here was looking a bit dodgy, and I just wanted to make sure that I had that right. So I'm lining up here, and I had that one over there, and I'm just lining up with my mat, because the mat's really useful to get in those measurements for inches. Oh, there we go. Right, so that's where that one needs to be, and we can go over that again once we've covered that. All right, I did that with my other one. Okay, so we've got that in place. These are pretty much where I need them to be. So again, I'm just going to take my bone folder and just go over that. Right, so there we have it. We've got our cardboard, and it's all folded out. Now, because I've cut off the bottom here, I just want to make this neatened up a bit and this bit straightened up here. So what I did was just take my little knife again. Love my knife. I'm just going to neaten off those little serrated bits, because I don't want those. You just cut them with your scissors, but you know, you can't go wrong with one of these Stanley knives. And then all I'm going to do is just take my scissors, just going to cut that off like that, and guesstimate here. I'm guesstimating how far was this from the edge. So it's about almost 2 centimeters. So almost, yeah, just making a bit of a mark there with the thumb, and yeah, just over 2 centimeters down. So I'm just sort of imitating what I have on the bottom with the top. So I've just measured the 2 sides with my nail. I've made a mark, and now I know that I need to link that one with that one, and I have pretty much the same sort of angle, I hope, over there. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, so we've got our 2 edges cut now as well. Okay. Right, now you don't have to use paper. You can use fabric if you want. I'm using paper today because I really like this paper. And then what are we going to do is just put that to the side for a moment. So I'll leave it at the top there. And then what we're going to do is take first 2 pieces of paper. Now, because this is too wide, the paper's too narrow for the cover, I'm going to have to do it this way. Right, so what I've done is we are going to take 2 of these pieces of paper. Let's first put some I'm going to use double-sided tape. And I'm going to run the double-sided tape down the one side here. So I'm using this nice red double-sided tape, which I love because you can see it easily. So we just want to do it right on the edge here. I think this tape, doesn't really matter, but this one is 1/2 inch wide, or sort of 14 mils. Okay, millimeters. I'll just put that there. Need to get something. I'm going to use this blade, and I'm not great at getting these things off, and I've tried all sorts, but there we go. That's the best way for me. It's just pulling off the tab, and now it never wants to leave my hand. Move this out the way. What you want to do is you want to put your other piece of paper on here. Decide which way you want it. Do I want it that way, or is it going to be better? I think this is the better way. Now you can always put lace or something over the edge here, over the seam. Most of the time you don't really even notice it. So now we've got a much bigger piece of paper. So that's looking good so far. I think what I did before was I stuck the one down. I have to think what I'm doing. Oh, just before somebody asks me, this is a 160 gram weight of paper, which is double copier weight paper. So I think in the US, I think you call it a 60-pound weight. All right, so if you're wondering. Now you're quite welcome to go and put this on and then seal it with Mod Podge or one of those matte mediums, so you can easily do that. I'm lining up, draw that one was there, wasn't it? So this is where the 1 inch mark goes, and at the end of that 1 inch I've got a mark, and I've just joined it up with the one at the top. Those marks there, so the fold line, is where I'm going to put my paper. Match it up with the fold line here. So we want to centralize it in this piece of paper like this, but we also want to make sure that we match those up, because it's going to be easier for us when we've got to go and find those score lines again as well. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to put on a little bit more of my tape, only in the middle, and then I'm going to use glue. You don't have to do this, you can use glue, or you can cover the whole thing with tape. It's up to you. So let's just see if I can get this off. Joy. There we go. It's working today. Thank you, tape. You know, don't make my life challenging. Right, now, once this is down, it's down. Make sure that you have centralized this as much as possible, matching that little notch there with the fold line. So that's what you want to do, and make sure that you've got it pretty central on either side of the paper. I think it needs to come down a bit more. Right, so there we go. That's now I've got it secured. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take my fabric tack. I'm going to move this down a bit, and I will be speeding this up, but what I'm going to do is I am now going to put fabric tack all over here and stick it down over here. I'm now just going to drop that down onto there like that. Okay, job done. Right, now what I did was, let's put this back on here. I need to get myself another one of those glue goodies, glue tip toppers from Audrey. Right, now what you want to do now is you do want to fold this over. Right, so let's do that, but before we do that we're going to have to sort out the edges. Now what I did was I cut to the corner like this, but I'm going to just miss the point because I want a nice firm point, so I'm cutting it just away from the point, and then I'm going to, actually I don't even know if that is what I did. We'll see. I think I just folded the whole thing over, to be honest, but you don't need to do that. Right, so I'm just cutting out a section like that. All right, so not quite to the edge there. We'll see how that goes. So let's give that a go, and then I'm going to fold this whole bit over as soon as I've stuck this side down. So let's stick this side down. All right, so we'll stick that down, so that will just slide down nicely like that. Okay, that's our, just going to fold that over because that's my score mark. What did I do? I've got 2 of these bone folders now because I lost the one. And we've since found it. There we go. That's my fold line for that. So I'm just going to fold this over. It's going to give it a nice finish. All right. There we go. All right, so we've got all that stuff down. Now let's get going with the folding bits. All right, so we're going to take your bone folder, run it along the edge here. All right, so you're just scoring it right against the edge there. And then we're going to, you can either use, let's see, let's try a bit of tape. Try a bit of tape. Tape and me aren't the best of friends, but I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. But seeing it seems to be working today, let's give it a go. You know, second chances and all. Right. Let me take that off. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is just put a little bit of glue here. I'm sure there are many ways to do this. This is my version. Then of course we're going to be friendly now, tape. We just want to get this bit off again. Oh, it's friendly today. Yay! Thank you. You know, things never seem to work in that regard when I'm filming. Okay, now we can fold this whole flap up. So let's start over here. Just run your thumbs along the base where you've scored before you stick it down. Go right across. Okay, and don't get your fluffy jumper stuck in the in here. Right, so that's given it a nice bit of blue fluff now. Right, and then nice thick paper, it does work well. Okay, so let's just remember now, that was my score line. I'm just going like this to help it along when I fold it up later. Okay, and then just matching my fold lines up there. Right, so far so good. Right, now we want to just I don't think that I've done the best thing here. I think with my other one I just folded it on, but you can actually just tuck this in with your bone folder. So you're tucking in the corner here, or if you've got long nails, yeah. But this one we'll do differently, and I'll show you a different option. Okay, so we're going to come to this at the end. What I did on this side was similar. And might be easier. Each has its advantages and disadvantages. That way gives you less bulk on the corner. This way gives you more bulk, but maybe a better finish. We'll see. We'll see now. Okay, so I've just scored along that fold line again, and you just want to bend that up so that you're going to get a nice straight line. Okay. Right, go back to the tape, because it seems to be playing ball today, which is always handy. Okay, so you've got your tape on there. We're going to put a bit of glue on here. This is going to be really pretty. You're going to really love this when I'm done. And as I say, you can use fabric with this and do the same thing. These are really a great way to use up cartons, and you know I have a mountain of them. I really need to sort that out, cut them into size. I'll have loads. Be making journals forever. Obviously this is in between a hard and a soft journal. I wouldn't say it's a hard one, but I wouldn't say it's a soft one either. So yeah. Okay, so we've got that sorted. We're going to try luck again and lift up this little red flap. So let's do that. Be nice. There we go. Seems to working a treat now. Okay, if I can get the strip off my hand, that'll be good. Right, and again, just lift this up, work the edge with your thumbs like that, and we're going to stick this all the way down. Now, we didn't cut that edge there because I'm showing you a different option, so I hope this is all in frame. We're going along like that, and I'm going to go straight across like that. All right, straight across. So you can do either way, whichever works best for you, and then we can have a look at the end results together. Okay, now if you're wanting to put metal corners on, then this is probably the better way to go, because this way would make it too bulky for metal corners if you're wanting to do that. Okay, so on this side now, what we want to do is we want to take our bone folder again, and you want to just, not too hard, just run it right the way down there like that, just so that you've got a nice fold line. With this one, as I said, you want to just tuck it in. As you can see, I've just tucked in the corner there. With this side, move this out the way, we are now going to fold this paper like that, right? And you're going to push the corner down, so it does make it bulkier, but you'll be able to see this one we've tucked that in like that. Right, now we should be able to put some sticky stuff on here, so we'll try this again. So this is such pretty paper. I'm so excited about this little project. Having a lot of fun putting it together, so I hope you enjoy it when you see it. Right, so we did go over school against the side there, and we are just getting that all sorted. And now I'm going to just take this little goodie and pull this up. Come on then, that's the way. Okay, static, it's sticking to me, get off. Right, so we're going to go back to this, we're going to fold this down, and hopefully it stays in place like that. And now we can move this up with our thumbs again. Okay, and now we can push that over, hopefully, like that. Okay, so now I can show you the two different results for this journal. Right, so let's just put that to the side for the minute. Right, so if I turn it over like that, we've got this corner here and we've got that corner there, and as you can see, both of them look is it going in shape? Both of them are pretty sharp corners. Okay, both of them there. So this one is the one where I cut the piece out. This one's the one I folded it over. We did fold up there. You want to be making sure you've got the right place again. So let's just score here. Just lining it up on my board again. So it was on the fold line, there and there. So softly now, not hard. Just run that down. And this one again for the top and the bottom, so we just want to do that again. Okay, so we've got that bit done, and now you should be able to fold there and fold there like that, and just ease it slowly. There we go, so we've got that one there, and then the bottom fold again, just ease it with your hand and your fingers, and there we've got our one box done. All right, so it's coming along nicely. So now we want to just finish off this side, so let's do that. Okay, now sorry, what we want to do here is we want to try and match up the sort of seam as best we can, and I just played around with it and decided which was better for me, and I thought that it was probably that bit there. Okay, so where's the fold? You just want to see what's going to work best. Was it that one or was it that one? Probably that one. Yeah, like that. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to put some flatten that, put some tape on this seam here, just like that. Okay, and this is your fold line for this bit here. Okay, lift it up if you're not quite right. Doesn't really matter there. Okay, as long as it's not over the fold line, you're all right. Right, now again, we want to just make sure that I think we had a good inch or so. So I'm going to have to gauge a couple of things here. First of all, that I've got a similar amount of space on each side, and also very importantly that I'm matching this up the best that I can here. It's not going to match perfectly, but you just want to make sure that it's you've got the right bit, the bit that you're most happy with. So that could be either that side or this side. I'm not really sure which I prefer, but I'm just going to go for it, and I think that is where I want it there, and that is where I want it there, and we'll have to live with it. Okay, so that's going to keep it in place now, and then you can go and take your glue and run it over the bottom area here. Right, so why not make some use of it? You have it anyway. Okay, there we go. So that's where that is. Let's turn it over. Okay, that's all right. So the way I did it was I cut off an inch from the edge. So my ruler is about an inch, and I'm going to just chop that bit off there. Because you've got angled edges, these bits here, it makes it a little bit more trickier. If you wanted to have them flat, it would be easier. So I'm cutting off that bit there like that, and then what I did was I did cut these bits like this, so I didn't go quite to the bottom. I've got to remember what I did, which is quite something. And then I'm going to cut that bit there. I'm just doing it at an angle like that, and then this last bit like that. Okay, so you've got 2 cuts there and 2 cuts there. Right, so again, what you want to do is, and I think with this one oh no, I think we will use the tape, and I'll speed this up while I'm putting the tape on. Okay, so you can see that I've put tape on 3 sides here. I've filled all the spare spaces with glue. So what we want to do first of all is, again, lift this up. Just use your fingers or your thumbs just to bend that up again, and stick the first one down just like that. Then do the same with the bottom one. So lift it up. Just use your fingers or thumbs just to edge that up nicely, and then press that one down again like that. All right, now you're going to do the middle bit, and you leave these outer flaps to the end. So again, lift this up, run your thumbs along the bottom just to make a nice fold line, and stick that down like that. Okay, now what we need to do is, you can now see where you need to cut away here. All right, so if I bend this up, you can see that that's all right, but this bit needs a bit off here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to angle this like that. Hopefully this is going to go straight over there, and it is. So there we go. Now you're going to cover this with some other paper, a lining paper, so don't worry about that, and just do the same with this side like that, and that will fold over just like that. Okay, now all you need to do is just round your corners off with your bone folder. So take the corner from there and then just round that off. Just gives it a nice bend while the glue is still wet, and gets it nice and neatly finished. Okay, so there we go. Okay, so if we have a look now, the moment of truth, that was the bit, the back bit. Just want to go over my fold lines again. So that was the one, yeah, just do it softly, not hard. And then this one was the other, so just going over those again here as well, nicely. Okay, so that will go over like that. Right, we can turn it around. So we've got this bit over here like that, with that boxed bit in there, and you've got this bit over there like that. So just give it a bit of a fold like that. Okay, it looks beautiful. Okay, we can always stick lace or something on that join if you don't like it, but it's not horrible. All right, and if you have a look at it like this, you've got a perfect box shape there now. All right, how lovely is that? Your corners look beautiful and neat. Look at those beautiful corners, and it's all come together really well. Okay, I'm really happy with that. So how amazing is that? Now at this point, let's just put one of these on here because we haven't got our closure on. So I'll just put that on there. At this point is where you, before you put anything further on your actual, before you line these bits here, which I'll probably do at the very end, what you want to do, if you're wanting something like that, put it on now. All right, and what I would do is even put on there a little bit of masking tape. All right, so I do that just so that it doesn't poke a hole at any point through on my actual paper that's going to go over that. All right, so I've stuck that on. I stuck that on first, then I use my pokey tool to make 2 holes and thread brads through. All right, so I'm just going to put that over there and that over there. If I can get it off my fingers, that is. Right, now when you put your paper on, that will just make sure at no point is it going to poke through. Okay, so there we have it. And that's how I went about making these little files holders. And I'll show you what I'm going to do with them at the very end. You'll see my complete project in here. So I'll just stick that corner down from my other one. Okay, so that's how I went about it. Now, just a little suggestion. Before you put anything on, or if you want to, you're welcome to seal this with Mod Podge or Tim Holtz matte medium or any matte medium, and just brush it on. I would do it and I will be doing it to mine. So what you want to do is you want to just seal this or protect it, open it up like that, brush it all on and allow it to dry like flat, and then you've got a nice sealed cover from something you would have thrown in the bin. Okay, everybody, so I hope that you've enjoyed that. I'm just going to leave that there for a bit. I would probably personally, you can either make an eyelet here, wrap your ribbon around, or just tie ribbon loose. There are many ways to put closures on here, especially with this kind of a flap. You get all sorts of metal goodies that you could use here as well. All right, so I hope you've enjoyed that. Go give this a go, because this is a great solution for a journal cover, and really cost effective, especially if you're using recycled cardboard, like corrugated board from cartons, or just those Amazon packaging packets. All right, and thank you for spending some time with me. I look forward to seeing you very soon, and I hope next time I do see you, it's to show you the flip through of my little project that I've put in here. Okay guys, stay well, have a lovely week, and I look forward to seeing you very soon. Bye bye.